One of the really neat things about Virtual Earth is its ability to display both two-dimensional and three-dimensional maps complete with 3D models. I'm going to run a comparison here between Virtual Earth and Google Earth buildings in downtown Denver. The green area is a polygon drawn on top of Virtual Earth, and it's the same area that has buildings inside of Google Earth. The blue area, the larger box on the outside, is the area that has Microsoft Virtual Earth 3D buildings. You can tell that the Microsoft one is much larger than the Google area. I'm going to go into 3D mode now, and you'll notice that there is shading on this map. The other thing that's really nice is that this is a road map as opposed to satellite imagery. Virtual Earth supports both satellite imagery as well as road map imagery like this, so you can actually zoom in and see the buildings that come up on top of the map rather than on top of satellite imagery, which is usually very distracting because it has the original buildings in the underlying map along with shadows and everything else. So you could get a really good sense of what these buildings look like. Right now they're just shaded buildings. That's the default that comes up when you bring up map view. And if you hit Shift D for detail, they'll come up with the full textures. We can also switch now to hybrid mode, which brings up the underlying satellite map. You can tell it gets a little bit darker there, but this is actual now satellite imagery on the underlying map with the buildings put on top. The area in green in the background, you'll notice, is the area that has Google Earth buildings. So if you're running Google Earth, you'll see some of their 3D buildings in that area. So again, the 3D area is for Google Earth is highlighted in green, and you'll notice a lot of other buildings outside of that green area. Those are the Virtual Earth 3D buildings, and they actually extend for quite a while south, both north and south of the city of Denver. One of the things you can do, of course, is get down all the way to the street level. You don't just have to fly a plane, you can drive a car in Virtual Earth and drive down the street and look at the buildings from different views. As you get closer and closer to buildings, they bring in more detail on the buildings themselves, so you get even higher levels of detail. That's for performance reasons. As you look at a big city like this, at first we bring in all of the buildings, and then we'll bring in the textures on top of the buildings in higher and higher resolution as you get closer and closer to the buildings. So that's it. We're going to zoom through it now. Road map, zoom in. Green area is where Google Earth has buildings. Blue area is where Virtual Earth has buildings. Fly around the city. Get different views of the city. See in that green area where Google Earth has its buildings. And fly around. Zoom around. Go north of the city. Look at all the Virtual Earth buildings up there. Many larger buildings are what are modeled, usually 2 stories and above. So just mostly the commercial buildings. And we go all the way south. There's literally, I mean, it's hard to tell from this view, but there's hundreds and hundreds of buildings down in the southern area too. There's